a lot of the fans are going to be disappointed. We saw fans there crying, you know, at what looked like Ruud van Nistelrooy's goodbye. I want to take us back to what Amorim said. He said, you know, he did a great job. I have to talk with him tomorrow. This was yesterday speaking. Then I will explain everything. I'm very clear and I will tell you like it is. Let's wait until tomorrow. Do you think there was any chance of Ruud van Nistelrooy staying in any capacity? Or do you think they couldn't negotiate it? What do you think went on in that discussion, Andy?
I think that Ruben Amorim has decided to bring his own coaches in to Old Trafford. And that is pretty normal in football. As you say yesterday, and it was my colleague Laurie Whitwell who asked Ruben Amorim about his future and what the role would be for Ruud van Nistelrooy. You know, it's just the way that it is in football. Probably the best example is also at Manchester United when David Moyes came in and brought his own coaching staff in from Everton. And there were a lot of people bewildered at Manchester United that really good coaches like Mike Phelan and Eric Steele and René Meulenstein, who'd been integral to the success, were also moved on. You can argue back and forward whether it was the right or wrong thing to do, but not just in football, in working environments, people bring in the people that they trust. And Manchester United's new executives have done exactly the same. They're bringing in people around them who they trust. And Ruben Amorim will be welcomed with enthusiasm by Manchester United fans. They loved watching his sporting team last week. He's got a very good CV, just like Erik ten Hag had. And he will enjoy a honeymoon period, just as every single Manchester United manager has done in the post-Ferguson era. And look, it's awkward, but Ruud knows how it is in football as well. And if Ruud took a job tomorrow, he's probably going to bring his own people in as well. That is just how it is. But my overriding feeling about him is him coming back to Manchester United, while it was short, it has helped him. It's shown that he can manage at a big club. Again, I've not heard a single bad word about him. The players were absolutely having him, and not just because of his status as a legendary manager. He was really enthusiastic with them. I spoke to people close to, and indeed younger players, who said he paid attention to them. And players who are not stars often get overlooked at clubs, and that wasn't the case with Ruud van Nistelrooy. And in my own dealings with him as a journalist, you know, he wrote the foreword to my new book. I saw him yesterday. He gave me a big hug. I don't know whether that was, you know, that's it, I'm going now. And it's far more important than me that he will be saying goodbye to at Manchester United. But everybody there was, you know, I wouldn't say emotional, but sad that he's going. And when my wife saw the picture, she said, well, any chance I can hug him as well, because he looks fantastic.
OK. Look, in terms of him as a person, as you were saying, it won't just be the fans. It will be the players as well, because he had this real connection with them. And we heard from them last week saying they didn't want him to go. So there was no way of them finding some solution. It was pretty clear, like you say, as all managers do, they bring in their number twos and their team in. And that's clearly what Amorim's done here. Was there no room for Ruud van Nistelrooy as a different role, do you think, in terms of the players, a liaison of some sort?
Clearly not. And that is the stark reality of it. The new manager is bringing 3 coaches in, and there is no room for Ruud in a senior role. Because, again, he should be in a senior role. And there's other people at Manchester United in the sort of post-Ineos era who, Ineos have said, yeah, you can stay on, but it's not going to be in the same role. And they've decided to move on themselves. I think other clubs now, and good clubs, good-sized clubs, and Ruud's multilingual, he's worked in different countries, he's been a success in different countries. They will be looking at him and his short spell at Manchester United and thinking, this is somebody who can manage at a high level. This is somebody who's comfortable around elite players. Elite players, as you say, looked up to him. That said, Benny McCarthy was very popular with the players as well. And he lost his job, or he didn't have his contract renewed at the end of last season. But getting on with players is absolutely crucial. But managers bring their own people in. And Ruben Amorim is really, really highly rated. And United fans, you know, they're so infused by the idea of him coming in, but also a little bit desperate, because in the post-Ferguson era, Manchester United have not managed a single title challenge, not even a title challenge. And that has got to change, because Manchester United is structured and the wage bill reflects this, to be competing for titles. And they're miles off that level at the moment. And I think Ruben Amorim has got a very, very, very difficult job to do. And Manchester United fans will wish him well in that. And Ruud van Nistelrooy, had he stayed, would know exactly how difficult that job is as well, because he's seen firsthand how difficult that dressing room is. And what he has done is he's lifted the spirits, he's got some wins. Yes, slightly fortuitous that there were home games there, 2 of the games against Leicester, but nothing should be taken for granted by Manchester United at the moment. This is a team who'd won 1 in 11 in Europe. So the win against PAOK in the Europa League the other night, it was deserved, and he's brought discipline. And in terms of there's defensive clean sheets there, you've seen Casemiro, who I spoke to after the game yesterday. He was glowing about Ruud van Nistelrooy. So there are positives, but yeah, it's tainted with a bit of sadness because he's leaving the club, and that's why I'm talking to you about it. He's a hugely popular figure among Manchester United fans.
Yep, and that's what Amorim will want to be as well, won't he? He will want to be a hugely popular figure. He's got this lovely aura about him. He's certainly great in press conferences. We've seen that already at Sporting. If there was one thing that needed to be top of his in tray, Andy, and you're going to have to tell us briefly, what would it be?
The team needs to start winning matches. It's really simple, and they have done under Van Nistelrooy. The team needs to score more goals, and several of those players really need to raise the levels because they've been too disappointing this season. He's got a very, very difficult job, but he'll get a lot of support, as the previous managers have had, from the club and from the fans. But he's also got a really, really tough job.
Yeah, he certainly has. OK, brilliant to talk to you as always. Thanks, Andy, for joining us.